Charlie Bennett grew up in a detached house in West London, where family traditions, music and laughter filled almost every room. Her father, Arthur Bennett, was a research scientist whose inquisitive mind extended far beyond the laboratory. Although science was his profession, music was his lifelong passion. An accomplished amateur violinist, Arthur believed music deserved the same patience, discipline, and attention to detail as scientific research. The Bennett home was often filled with the works of Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, Elgar, and Vaughan Williams drifting from the family record player. Every Saturday morning, without fail, Arthur carried his violin upstairs to the family bathroom. Convinced it had the finest acoustics in the house, he would spend an hour practicing while the rich sound of his violin echoed throughout the house. Charlie's mother, Anne Bennett, worked as a secretary at the Smith's Crisps headquarters on the Great West Road, warm. Practical and wonderfully patient, she was the quiet heart of the Bennett family. Anne encouraged both of her children to follow their dreams and never complained when the house became noisier than most. Friday evenings brought another eagerly anticipated Bennett family tradition. When Anne arrived home from work, she was often carrying a large cardboard box from Smith's. Charlie and her older brother, Jonathan, could hardly wait to discover what treasures it contained. More often than not, it was filled with packets of Smith's Crisps in a variety of flavors, together with an assortment of chocolate bars and other confectionery that employees were allowed to take home. The moment Anne placed the box on the kitchen table, Charlie and Jonathan eagerly searched through its contents, each trying to claim their favorites before the other.
You've already had 2 cheese and onion.
Only because you took all the ready salted. Arthur simply looked over the top of his newspaper with an amused smile before helping himself to a packet. The friendly rivalry became part of family life and one of Charlie's happiest childhood memories. Charlie shared an especially close relationship with Jonathan. Although 5 years older, he never treated her as a younger sister. When it came to music, every few weeks he arrived home carrying another exciting record. The Beatles, the Searchers, the Hollies, Jerry and the Pacemakers, the Dave Clark Five, the Kinks. The 2 siblings listened to every new release over and over again, discussing the harmonies, guitar parts, and drum fills as though they were seasoned music critics. Jonathan was also the first person to place a guitar into Charlie's hands. Charlie spent every spare moment teaching herself guitar. She patiently worked out songs by ear, played along with Jonathan's records, and practiced until her fingertips became strong enough to play for hours. Saturday mornings followed a familiar rhythm in the Bennett household. At exactly 10 o'clock, Charlie and Jonathan gathered around the family radio to listen to Saturday Club on the BBC Light program. It was their weekly connection to Britain's rapidly changing music scene. As each new record played, the dining room became their imaginary stage. Armed with a pair of wooden sticks, they enthusiastically drummed on the padded dining room chairs, pretending they were performing alongside the bands they admired. Their laughter mixed with the latest beat music, while Anne moved through the house with the hoover and Arthur's violin floated downstairs from the bathroom. It was noisy. It was slightly chaotic. It was home. If music was Charlie's first love, Chelsea Football Club was undoubtedly her second. She and Jonathan rarely missed a home match on Saturday afternoons. They traveled to Stamford Bridge with Arthur and their next-door neighbor, Paul, whose love of Chelsea matched that of the Bennett family. The journey itself became part of the adventure. They took the Piccadilly line to Earl's Court and changed to the District line to Fulham Broadway. before joining the growing sea of blue and white scarves making its way along Fulham Road. Program sellers shouted the team lineups while supporters confidently debated Chelsea's chances. Charlie loved listening to Arthur and Paul analyzing the match, while Jonathan enthusiastically predicted the final score, usually with far greater optimism than accuracy. Standing together in the East Stand, Charlie experienced something that remained with her for the rest of her life. Thousands of supporters singing together, every attack bringing hope, every goal bringing celebration, every disappointment shared. Whether Chelsea won, lost, or drew almost seemed beside the point. It wasn't simply football. It was belonging. As she grew older, Charlie realized that this was exactly what she wanted music to achieve. Not simply to entertain, but to bring people together, to make complete strangers sing with one voice, smile together, and leave feeling they had shared something unforgettable. Without realizing it, the music, laughter, and traditions that filled the Bennett household, together with those unforgettable Saturday afternoons at Stamford Bridge, were quietly preparing Charlie Bennett for the moment she would pin a handwritten advertisement in a London music shop window. A simple notice that would unite 5 remarkable young women and begin the extraordinary story of the Five Prisms.